I want to warn you, the footage that we are about to show you is incredibly graphic. If you believe that it might be triggering, feel free to skip ahead or turn away. With that said, here's the video.
I'm a mother of a murdered child.
Just film.
I'm a mother of a murdered child. Why are you touching me?
Because I'm asking
stepping
you
back.
to move.
I am moved. I have moved.
Please.
You're violating my rights because you're on my property.
Okay, buddy? Take my door, shut it left. Back up. Back up.
I haven't done anything. You should stop. I haven't done anything. Mariah, call. I am. Yes. Back up. I have kids in the car. Let go of me. Let go. No, let go of me. Let go of me. Let go. Let go. Rocky. Let go of me.
Let go of the key now.
I don't have the key. Get off my
Shut your
face.
mouth.
No, you shut your
So we're gonna have more video for you, but what you're seeing right there is an incident of the family of Mariah Herefored and a number of cops. This is in Hemet, California. The cops came in and not only harassed them, began to get incredibly physical with them, with their property, also with their dogs. And so an absolutely horrendous night being documented thanks to the fact that people have cameras these days. We might otherwise never have found out about this, and we will, as I said, have more footage. But a federal civil rights lawsuit has been filed on behalf of Mariah, her mother, Monett, and her fiance as well, saying that the police that you could see moving around there illegally searched Gadison's car and then violently arrested Hereford and her mother for filming the encounter. According to the lawsuit, Hemet police initiated a traffic stop as Gadison, the fiance, was pulling into his driveway on the night of March 31st of last year. Quote, with no reasonable suspicion or probable cause, the Hemet officers asked plaintiff for permission to search his vehicle. When plaintiff Gadison refused, officers forcibly removed him from his vehicle and began to aggressively handcuff and detain him. That was around the time that Monett started recording what was going on. An officer apparently saw that she was doing so, smacked the phone out of her hand, which not only is violent, of course they're not allowed to do that. You are allowed to record these things. They're supposed to be in most areas recording these as well. The officer slammed Mariah's head into the ground. She was taken to the hospital that night and treated for a quote, closed head injury, left shoulder pain, low back pain, neck pain, and whiplash. And you can in fact see a little bit of the bruising in these photos here. Brett, what do you think?
I mean, it's horrifying. If you watch the entire video, it is a combination of that. The dogs, according to the reports that I read, the dog was not killed, but
we're gonna get to a little bit of the footage about the dogs, but yes.
Gotcha. So, but as you watch it play out, it is absolutely horrifying to see the failure of the police to de-escalate a situation. And you also see cops once again upset that they're getting filmed, even though they have body cams on and they're filming other people, and they just don't want to be held accountable. These ones in particular, that's a vibe I got from watching, is they just don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They are slightly inconvenienced by people being upset that in their own opinion, injustice is happening at the hands of the police. And so rather than just deal with it, like everybody has to deal with it when the cops show up, the cops are like, no, I got a badge, so I'm gonna tackle you.
Yeah, if you don't respect me in the way that I want, if you don't speak the way that I want, God help you, if you record me, then I'm gonna do whatever. And by the way, it doesn't even stop them that you're recording them. They still frequently engage in absolutely barbaric violence, because while they are annoyed at the prospect of being recorded, it would be their preference that you not do that. They also know that it being recorded on video is no guarantee that anyone's gonna take it seriously or that there are gonna be consequences. Society is changing on that. The media is changing a bit on that, but it's incredibly slow. And at many steps of the process, the benefit goes to the cops. That's the way that it's been and it remains that way. But no, you can do this recording. I don't understand why, like they find it to be inconvenient. Stop attacking people. What are the stakes here? That you would destroy a phone? Like just think about financially the effect of for a random person like destroying their phone, having to replace that. the cost of medical care, let alone if you injure their dogs. And we're gonna turn to this right now. So it also did involve the dogs. We'll have updates on what ended up happening, but first here is that footage.
I think they killed the dog. ¿Qué pasó? Yo no sé.
They killed the dog.
Mataron al perro. ¿Por qué? Yo no sé. I don't know what happened.
It is absolutely devastating. What you could see, eventually you can't see it. And like even more so hearing it, hearing the screams of the kids worried about what's happening to their parents, horrified by what they're seeing. I can't even conceive of being 9 and seeing something like that happening. Like what lingering effect that would have on you, and the casual jumping into the situation of the cops don't care. You saw like she asked a question at some point, and he like stopped himself from saying something. Like the approach is just so fundamentally uncaring.
That's the best. That's the best thing he did. That's the most decent thing he did.
Is not say whatever it was that he was thinking. Yeah.
Was to take a breath and go back to doing his job.
Yeah.
Poorly, I don't know the full facts of the case, and that's exactly the point of this. Is that in the meantime, so that's the one thing. He in that moment did not escalate the situation. But as you can tell, the cops are always moving the goalposts. They tell you to move back, and then they realize you're still filming, and then they tell you to move further back, and then they get too close to you, and suddenly they're at a point where they've run out of patience because they haven't managed everything correctly, and now they're arresting folks. And then you're struggling to see what's going on in the video until the camera goes on the ground. And then you're free to listen to the chaos that's ensued.
It's even more horrifying at that point.
Yes.